Hey guys, welcome back. Today I thought we would discuss The Witness by Nora Roberts. This is an adult romance book, but it also has a little bit of thrill. Now, I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I have read so many Nora Roberts books that I felt like this wasn't one of my favorites. This review should be spoiler free, but if I do go into spoilers, then I will let you know. I believe this is actually my first adult book to review, and definitely my first romance adult book to review. So I'm really excited to kind of branch out of young adult. And don't get me wrong, I love reviewing young adult fiction, but I also read a lot of other, I love adult books, I love romance, and I haven't ever reviewed any, so I thought it would definitely be fun to branch out a little bit and review The Witness by Nora Roberts. So we follow our main character, Elizabeth, and she is the daughter of a very cold and very controlling mother. Elizabeth is never allowed to do anything that her mother doesn't approve of. Her mother decides what she eats, what she wears, what she's studying. So one night Elizabeth decides that she is just going to rebel and she is going to have a night of fun. But that night of fun ends up turning into a tragedy, and she ends up running away and having to change her name. About 12 years later, we are now following Abigail, and she lives in this small city, kind of in the outskirts of the wooded part of a really small city. She lives by herself with this massive dog, this very high-tech security system, and she doesn't like to be bothered. She wants to be left alone. Well, of course, she ends up drawing the attention of our male protagonist, and that is Brooks. He is the chief of police. He is determined to figure out what Abigail is hiding. Of course, as he does, a romance evolves and chaos spills out from there. First, let's discuss the writing style. I love Nora Roberts' writing style. She has a beautiful balance between dialogue and description. She never has too many pages that is full of just wordy descriptions. Everything flows beautifully, and you can really picture what it is that she wants you to see in her books. I've noticed that I am never bored with Nora Roberts' writing, and even though this wasn't one of my favorite books that she's written, I still feel the same way. Everything flows beautifully, and I never get bored. There's always a moment of action that follows kind of a slower scene, and there's a really good balance between that. I did feel like the ending was a little bit predictable, except for there were 2 exceptions. 2 questions weren't really resolved. I mean, the main overall conflict was resolved, but there were 2 kind of side conflicts that I feel like weren't, I still have questions about, and I wish there had been more resolution to. And I also feel like there wasn't kind of like that epic climax in this book. We definitely had some building up to it, but it kind of just, it built and then it just resolved. There wasn't like that big turning point where it makes you go, it just makes you gasp. There really isn't anything like that in this book. Now, when I first read the synopsis, I was highly intrigued, and as I started reading, I was pleasantly surprised that a good 1/4 of the book is from Elizabeth's perspective, and we really get to see the details of what happens in that tragic night. I thought we were going to get kind of a snippet and then go into Elizabeth's life, but we really did get to see a lot more. We were able to connect more with Elizabeth and really feel what she had to go through. Of course, I love the romance between Abigail and Brooks. You can't help but love Brooks. He is so sweet, and he's caring, and he wants to do what's right. but I couldn't help but feel as though he is very similar to all of Nora Roberts' other male characters. I didn't feel like he was that unique. I love Elizabeth's or Abigail's character. She is distant, she is extremely intelligent, and she is slightly robotic because of her intelligence. So she's very socially awkward, and it was really fun to read. It kept making me think of the show Bones. Everything is very scientific, black and white, and that's kind of how Abigail thinks. Everything has a purpose, and it's very scientific and black and white. She doesn't understand gray areas. I thought that was very unique to her character. I hadn't really read any of characters written like that by Nora Roberts, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I also loved the mother's character. She's so cruel, and she's so cold, and she doesn't care. All she cares about is herself. She doesn't care about her daughter, and she kind of is a pretty good villain in this book, even though she's not really a villain, but she kind of is. There are so many times I just wanted to jump into the book and smack her. Another thing that I really love about Nora Roberts' writing is the fact that there's always a big emphasis on family, whether that is the male protagonist or the female protagonist. She always brings in the mothers or the fathers or siblings. This book is no exception. Brooks's mom is hilarious. She doesn't really have any boundaries, but she's also sweet and means well. Alright guys, well that is it for my book review on The Witness by Nora Roberts. Comment down below if you have read this. I would love to discuss this book with you. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos. I hope you have a lovely evening, and I will see you next time. Bye!